I would say it's not really about the empowerment per se when you think about the benefits of study. I think it's about having all the parties agreeing on who's responsible for what and following through on the concept throughout the study and be very clear with each other on who has what responsibilities in the execution. I think, of course, eventually with clear delineation of responsibilities comes empowerment. Empowerment on the side of the CRO, empowerment also on the side of the sponsor, of the client. But clearly, I think it's more about clarity in who is responsible for what, as well as clarity in decision making. And I think those clarity eventually is leading to empowerment. And I would also go so far and say I would not want to take away empowerment from also the sponsor company. Eventually it's their project, it's their baby, it's what the company is working on for many, many years, and you as a CRO are only part of it for a certain period of time. And I think we also have to respect that and have to also let pharma companies be part of the execution. But again, back to my earlier comment and statement, I think it all is about clarity, clear understanding who's responsible for what, and this eventually will drive empowerment. Obviously, I think last year, I think also at PCT even a similar question was asked about trends in the industry, and I think I commented on the patient-centric approach is certainly that everybody is focusing on, and I don't think it's really quite clear in what direction things are evolving right now if it comes to patient centricity. I mean, eventually I think every project is focused on patients because you need to recruit patients, you need to bring them to the study to complete your research project. So I think maybe it's a new term that we invented that always existed, and maybe because we are adding a number of new tools and apps and approaches and discussions to the topic, it becomes its own category. But I would say it's not new. And I would say it is quite important, and I think it will continue to reshape the way we look at the execution of clinical trials for the next few years, and the role the patient is playing, and I think also how we are engaging with patients as CRO, as pharma company directly, the role the investigator is playing. I think we're going to see a revival. I don't really think anybody today would be able to say how that's going to look like. Contrary, I also think there's a lot of talk about technology. I think we also as industry have to be careful to not just look at technology for the solutions as it is about patient-centric approach, because in the end there's this idealistic patient who is going to the doctor and participating in the trial, but there's also many patients who are not able to operate technologies and who are able to participate in this for reasons of conditions. So we have to be broader, and I think sometimes I'm missing that a little bit in the patient-centric discussions because you're quickly arriving at technology and databases and web portals. I have to say I'm looking with great excitement at the recent QuintilesIMS merger, because it's really, I think, Quintiles always has been, of course, the market leader, and it's looking at it, what type of company they, like QuintilesIMS, what kind of services they really truly in the end deliver, because I think, of course, the intention is to create a new service category combining healthcare data more thoroughly with service industry in the clinical research execution space. And how that is going to look like, to me, is and what does it mean for the CRO sector in general as an influence, to me is probably I'm most excited about for the next few years to see what that means. And also, of course, everybody's talking about big data and using data and databases and the database for this and analyze for that. But when you're looking even research, are there publications available who are discussing like what's the benefit of big data for instance, trial execution, for example, like who has analyzed that data, or what are the benefits of feasibility information that are organized a certain way? Then you find very little information about that in the public domain. So I think as much as we all believe it's the future and we are working towards that, I think the true proof how far this will get us is still out there. And I guess back to IMS and Quintiles, I think for them really combining those data and services in a large organization, I'm just excited to see like what this is going to bring to the industry.